Welcome, Tale Tellers. It's a Wednesday, halfway through the week. See, it's not so bad, right? If you're just chilling at home, enjoying yourself, let me help you relax just that bit more. If you're working, driving, or doing a chore, let this story take the edge of what would be a bit of a blah day. Yeah, that's a technical term for a crap day. Today's story is titled Call to the Void, from the author SpookyScarySkelytons. First, awesome name. Second, thank you so much for allowing me to narrate this one. For my French audience, and those that know French, I was going to put in the loose translation for this title. Instead, I decided to keep it in the story itself. Anyhow, time for my awesome fan shoutouts. Troy Shaw, a fan with eagle ears. The detector of skips. That one never gets old to me. Thank you for your support, mate. Arkin brother, cheers mate for your awesome tale teller stories and the ongoing support. Thank you so much. Sin, talk about research queen. Sin has provided me some Japanese yokai demon content to look through. And I'll be tagging this along with Carl Brandt's story, which is Michi's Journey. Stay tuned folks for that one, because I haven't finished narrating that story yet, and I'm going to combine some yokai information that Sin's provided in that episode. So it's going to be fantastic. And of course, thanks Carl Brandt for that fantastic story. Santos, thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you so much for sending that story through. I'm going to do my best to get it on here ASAP. Thank you for your support, buddy. Epic Dan, who's one epic man, thank you for your support, mate. Katie Sturgill, holy moly, if you want a lady who knows her narrations, check out Katie World XYX, and use the key term narration on YouTube. You'll find her. Thanks, Katie. Nelson Brake, thanks for your support. DN Margoni, thanks for the follow. And Blabbermouth31 and Francis Johnson, also, thank you for the follow. And the silent hero, Skeleton Flip, still going strong, listening, or re-listening in some cases I can imagine, to some of the narrations. Cheers, mate. Thanks for your support. And lastly, two awesome podcasts that I listen to, Cadavercast and the Crazy Town Podcast. Let me just start by saying that Cadavercast is a podcast that is family friendly and run by a father and son duo, where the son is 5 years old. They talk about all things monsters and film, so seriously check it out. And the Crazy Town Podcast, going through all things crazy in the news, and recently, they did a show on themselves, so check them out. Okay, it's a wicked Wednesday and I gotta say, turn those lights off, grab your hot beverage, and scurry under the covers. Because tonight's story is so very, very creepy. In French, there's a phrase, l'appel du vide. This is a phrase that has no exact translation in other languages, loosely translated to the call of the void. It is when you hear a voice telling you to do something horrible. I have one piece of advice. Never answer the call, or it won't let you go. The first time I heard the call was when I was 14 years old. Standing at the top of the Empire State Building, the voice called,
"Drop your phone into the crowd of people down below. They are egotistic bastards anyway. You'd do the world a favor."
The voice was easy to ignore. However, it was persistent and continued to come to me. The next time it came, it wouldn't leave. It filled my ears and pounded on the inside of my head, giving me a migraine. It came infrequently, but every time it called, it became stronger. After a certain point, it filled my mind. The voice completely overwhelmed me, clogging all my senses, leaving me completely incompetent. Despite the voice's best attempt, it was futile against me, until the death of my best friend. When I was 21, I was in college with my best friend, Bill, until a drunk driver snatched his life away from him. Bill was in the hospital for 3 days until they declared that he had passed away. Those 3 days were the hardest of my life. The void called my name for 3 days straight. Every waking moment, I was put through the torment of a voice in my brain controlling my thoughts. I was determined to defeat it for 2 weeks, until I finally broke. I was walking home from my shitty office job. Days after Bill's death, I had dropped out of college and signed up for a dead-end job at a small paper company in Tennessee. As I was walking home, I passed by a pub. I saw it every day on the way home. Every single day, I walked by this godforsaken bar with sleazy drunk people lounging around. I looked at the ground as I passed when I heard a voice yell for help. Help! I looked up and turned towards the noise. An old man lay on the ground with a huge gash on his calf. I rushed towards him and almost fainted from the smell of alcohol. With the smell came a sense of dread. I felt the entire scene of Bill's death wash over me. I was there, reliving the scene. As I began to relive the past, the voice washed over me. Stronger than ever, it controlled me. I stepped towards the man and stooped down to him. I pulled a first aid kit out of my backpack and began to treat him. He had a gash, almost 3 inches deep. I began to apply pressure and wrap gauze around his leg. I finished wrapping it and reached into the kit. I pulled out a pair of scissors and I shoved it as hard as I could into his neck. I don't think I can refuse the void. Now that was one great story. Now, I don't know about you awesome tale tellers, but I know that sometimes I tend to think of the what ifs in life. Such as, what if I gave a rabbit 2 carrots at once? Or what if I put orange juice in my cereal instead of milk? One of those 2 questions has a terrible outcome. Yes, I've tried it and wouldn't recommend it. Either way, this story is thought-provoking at the least, and thank you SpookyScarySkelytons for this story. Now, if you want to help this podcast grow, the only favor that I need from you guys is if you can swing by on iTunes and leave a little review. I just had an author from this show swing by and review the show, so thank you Spilling Skies. He wrote My Weeping Watchman, and I'm so grateful. These iTunes reviews actually help others find this show and spread around these original stories, so every little rating helps, whether it be a like or a share, a repost, and I'm ever grateful to you listeners that do that. So thank you so much. Also, some of my YouTube fans are a little dismayed I'm not giving them a shout out, mainly because they're hearing the older episodes. So for those of you on SoundCloud, you're hearing it fresh off the press right now as I'm making it tonight. But they're going to have maybe a week or 2 difference between me uploading it because it takes time to render. So I wanted to take this opportunity to thank my YouTube fans as well. Let's get started. The Fleeting Word, The Chrome Spy, Elite Crasher 721. Now this one's a long one, but I love it. Electric Skeptic, Johannes Kraut, Bernstein, Le Orchard. Okay, I hope I nailed that. Lindsay Baker, Leslie Foster, Dark Angel Kitty Me, Skinned Locust, hey buddy, Jessica on a Journey, Jose Cuavez, Miss Rebecca, Nathalie Bouchard, Carrie D, Santos de la Rosa, hey mate, Mortis Media, cheers buddy, Angel with the Phone Box, Ashley Johnson, Wishing for a Horse, Loffrey. Now this one is a tongue twister, and it's basically FX Rest, XFHXTE 666. Okay, I gotcha. Notorious, Tired, that's not me, that's just the person's name, Tired, Jump 23 Man, Mad Scientist Huster, and Yalitza77 Able. A massive thank you to you YouTube fans, and if I've missed anyone, let me know. Okay, Telltellers, you made it this far, and thank you so much to you listeners. I wouldn't be here without people like you. Stay tuned for a Nosleep tomorrow, or if I can get to it, I'll try and get Santos' story edited and uploaded right here. So we'll see how we go. So, it's that time, folks. This is the place where stories live, and you tale-tellers come to listen. Enjoy your day or night, and join me every weekday for our creepy tradition. And as always, till next time.